First up today, 5 out of the 8 Academy Award nominees for Best Picture were adapted from books.
Now, most people know that the movies are rarely the same as the books, right? So a lot of people get upset, but our next guest says they're not supposed to be the same. Carole Barrowman is our favorite book guru. She's also an author, English professor, and Oscar Award show lover.
Hi.
Welcome back.
I should have brought a hat or something
Seriously, right?
for you. I was just thinking how young and fresh you looked.
Yeah.
You saying something nice about me now. That's how it
I
works.
love those glasses.
I love
by
the
the way.
glasses.
Thank
They
you.
make you look so smart.
Thank you, because, you know, God knows I'm not.
I do think glasses make especially women look smart.
I agree, but if I take these off, you're both just a blur. So with your bad hair, maybe that's a good idea.
Yeah, take them off.
Take them off. No,
Yeah.
I really wouldn't be able to see.
I love this topic because I have a friend who always, sees a movie and people be like, "Oh yeah, I love the book more," and he'll be like, "They made a book out of that?"
Wrong way.
Wrong way.
There's some really, I think, important things you say about readers of a book and their expectations.
Yes, I had 3 things that you should that have to do with readers' expectations. The first one is I think you should expect a good adaptation to stay true to the story and the atmosphere of the book. For example, all the books, Harry Potter books, got darker as they went along, and the films did too, and they stayed pretty much with the same story.
So that's good.
That's good. I think, and I think if you're judging a book to be a good adaptation, that's one of the things that you should expect.
Okay.
You can have a film that's a bad adaptation of a book, but be a good film.
Right.
Yeah.
So you just want the same.
So if you really want to go and see your book adapted, I think the first thing is, does it stay true to the story and the atmosphere? The second thing is, have some expectation. I think you can expect that it should be good on themes.
Yeah.
And on, like, Harry Potter is all about identity and finding yourself and all of that. If it was suddenly you went to the see a Harry Potter movie and it's Hagrid's story, which I would go see, by the way.
Right.
It's different. So it might be a good movie, but a bad adaptation. Here's the biggest one, though. You should expect it to be different.
It's a little heartbreaking for a reader.
Well, I understand that, but you should expect it to be different, because when you're reading, it's all in your head. It's all your imagination, as you know, and you are directing the story visually in your mind. When you go to see an adaptation, it's been turned over to a screenwriter and a director.
Yeah.
And they're not in your head.
Right, they're going to interpret.
They're going to interpret it. And so in that case, you've got to just have low expectations. I mean, really low expectations, and then you might be surprised.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
We're using up all our time, so I want to get to some of these movies. The first one, Brooklyn. These are all Oscar-nominated.
Yes. Yes.
Oscar-nominated movies, and we're talking about the book here. So Brooklyn.
This is Colm Tobin. That's how you pronounce that name. Great book. The wonderful thing about this book is it spends a lot of time in Ireland. Now, I have not seen all these films yet, so you have to use, the viewers will have to use my judgment here if they've read the book. But I have heard that it's a wonderful adaptation of the book. And it does a really nice job of staying close to the tone. It's very bittersweet. It's a romance. And she has to make some tough choices.
Just having read the book and just seeing even a trailer, do you feel like your visual?
It looks wonderful. I think they've done a really nice job of maintaining how torn she is between her homeland and her mother and this new love that she has in Brooklyn. And Nick Hornby wrote the screenplay, and Nick Hornby is a great novelist. So I bet this is going to be good.
Okay, the other one I'm reading right now is The Danish Girl.
What are you thinking?
I like it so far. My oldest daughter read this book, really liked it. She bought it in an airport, read the whole book in, like, I don't know, 2 plane,
I also read this book in one sitting, and I thought it was just stunningly written, just beautiful. So I am nervous about seeing this, because my expectations, I'm going to have to really make them low, because this was such a poetic book. Don't you think? The language is very beautiful.
However, the guy who's playing the role of, I forget how you say his name in the book, is Eddie Redmayne. And he is phenomenal. And I feel like just his body and the way he carries himself, he could pull this off.
Yes. One of the things that I've heard about the film is that her part, the wife, could almost be the focus of the film. Whereas in the book, it's very much her story.
Yes.
And so I'll be interesting if you.
Now I want to read the book.
Yes.
I really do.
The book is stunning. It's just one of my favorites of the adaptations.
Bridge of Spies is your next one.
This is nonfiction. I always like to pick a nonfiction for TIFF, and this is a journalist wrote this, but it reads like a thriller.
Okay.
I had to double check that after I got done with this. I read this a while ago when it first came out from my column, and I had to double check that he does such a nice job of building the suspense between the three main characters, the KGB spy, the American that's played by
Tom Hanks,
and the Air Force guy who goes down, Gary, I forget his name.
And it's about the first prisoner exchange between the East and the West during the Cold War.
It's really at the height of the Cold War, and it's very much a classic spy story, but it's about those three men and the dynamics between them. I loved it. I thought the atmosphere and the film, from the clips here, it looks like it probably captures that. But I'm wondering if my expectations should be low for this one, because I'm wondering if it's really all about Tom Hanks.
I was just going to ask you that, if when you read a great book and that you put such a big celebrity face on a character, if that's good or bad.
Well, I think in some cases it could be bad.
Yeah.
It could be bad. I probably said this before on the air. I'm not a huge Tom Hanks fan.
Oh, he's one of my favorites.
I think he plays Tom Hanks in pretty much every film.
Love him.
I know you do.
The last one I think is...
So you tell me whether you like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well.
Interesting, because you gave kind of our sound-off question, the worst adaptation you've ever seen of a novel.
Oh, my goodness.
1994 version of Isabel
Allende's
House of the Spirits.
I teach this novel every time I teach my Latin American literature class. It's one of my favorite novels of all time. It's set in Chile. Meryl Streep in the movie plays the main character. Could we get anybody whiter? Hello. Yeah. Winona Ryder plays the main character of one of the daughters, who's this exotic-looking Chilean woman, and Winona Ryder plays her. It's like, come on.
Yeah.
And then they focus on one little piece of the film of the book is a story about somebody's love affair in Germany, and it's a huge part of the movie. It's like, stop it.
Yeah.
Don't get me started on that movie.
Cringing. Well, here's where you can find out more about Carole. You can follow her on all of her little spaces like Facebook, Twitter, and Goodreads. It's CaroleBarrowman.com. That was fun. I like that. I really do that. I want to read The Danish Girl now.
Yeah, it's good. I haven't finished it, but it's good so far. Thank you.
I was even thinking I would teach it.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah,
Thanks, Carole.
good. Thank you so much. And still